match. We have Thailand versus the United States. A very, spooky match to be going into. The United States, as we've been mentioning time and time again, a very threatening team in terms of facing them. There's not one player on the team that I could say is inconsistent. And in fact, I would say at least 6 of them are known for their consistency. And the other 2 are just really good at tournaments in general anyways. So it's like, how do you combat that? it's hard. I mean, Beast, I'm sure I know you did try out for the United States team. Do you want to talk a little bit about, the process of that and I guess how it works?
Oh yeah. So I'm sure like most teams actually did tryouts for the OWC teams. What I really want to focus on the most is actually the results of it, because coming out of those tryouts, we actually have like an actual new face coming in, Hirak, on the United States team. I actually know him personally, not IRL or anything, but I've talked to him on multiple occasions because he's actually in the same state as I am in the United States, in Virginia. So it's very interesting to see him on the team. I know him personally as an insane hidden player, really good in terms of reading for low AR, but also doesn't fault in high approach rate stuff as well, as he also specializes in DT. So seeing his a new face on the United States team and seeing Hirak on him, I'm honestly very excited to see his performance in this tournament.
Can I be honest? Any new face the United States always goes God mode in Osu like solo after they become a new face. Like think about it, okay? Once Hypno is introduced, people are like, who the heck is this 4-digit guy? And then he crushes everything and they're like, oh no, not this guy. Now everyone's scared as hell to face him. But and with Idke, when Idke was new to the United States roster, everyone was like, who the heck is Idke? Why'd they put this guy over the team over X, Y, and Z? And then Idke became not only #2 player in the world, but an amazing tournament player. Monko going AFK gamer mode right now.
I didn't even realize. I was so focused on everyone else's screen, mainly Apraxia. I didn't even see Monko.
What did?
Hey!
He's back at it. Unfortunately, Scorby 2 is going to be ruining him right now. Look at how hard it is for him to gain score because of all those misses.
Yeah, despite that, the United States is still holding the lead for the this warm-up.
The BM. Bro, Monko has a 200 combo and he has 5k score. That's awful. Oh goodness, it just goes to show how much missing can ruin you in Scorby 2. Like a lot in a row. Because that's not from combo, contrary to popular. Well, it is, but it's also due to accuracy. Because his accuracy is so. Well, I mean, I can say it because he AFK'd. His accuracy is so garbage right now that it's like he's unable to gain score because 300k of your mill is from accuracy. But yeah, USA is still holding that lead. This is USA's warm-up, by the way.
On a banger tune, if I will add.
That's fair to add. It is a banger tune. Not the best initial D song, in my opinion. I like Gas Gas Gas. Just because it says, "Do you like my car?" That's the only reason. Because that's just not a sentence. That's just words strung together. when you really think about it, who the heck just like walks up to someone and says like, "Hey, do you like my car?" No one's ever done that in the history of Dota. I mean, Osu, like ever. That's just words strung together to form a word putty. But it sounds sick, so that's all that matters. I don't know, Beast, what's your favorite initial D song? Is it running in the 90s?
Honestly, I actually am not really too familiar with Initial D's tracks in general. I mean, obviously I've heard Gas Gas and Gas 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 and running in the 90s, but I can't really name any songs off the top of my head. I've watched a little bit of the anime itself, so I could probably like recognize them if I were to actually hear them. But in terms of actually like regurgitating names, yeah, like it's just like it's really hard to recognize them unless I actually hear it, you know?
Oh, Deja Vu is also a really good one.
Oh yes!
Oh my god, why did you just fucking... I mean, freaking... do that. That noise was so crazy.
I don't know, it's just like my memory is just so bad when it comes to especially the most obvious things, right? So when it finally just hits me, it's just like, wait a second, it was there the entire time. How did I not, like, remember it or recognize? I don't know, it just seems to be something that it's just a problem that I tend to have, so.
But yeah, that's the first warm-up. USA winning by a sizable amount right there. 2 mil to 1 mil. It's a warm-up though, so whatever.
And there it is.
There it is. Let's see how much score did Munko get? I wasn't really paying that much attention, to be honest, to Munko. 573. Yo, he reversed Mega Choked. Holy moly, dude. Holy moly. He actually just reverse Mega Choked. He went from AFKing to FCing the rest of the map. What a gamer, dude.
Can you really call that a choke, though?
Alright, well, that's why I said mega. He made the, what the heck? Oh, I feel like I should know this US monument. What's that huge, like crevice in the earth in I think it's Nebraska? Nevada?
The Grand Canyon?
Yeah, that. He made that, but with Osugraph. I don't know how I didn't know what the Grand Canyon was. I promise I'm actually from the US.
Don't worry, I barely know anything about the United States myself. I mean, that was just like a trivial thing, but I never leave my house, so.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now we're going to be getting it over to Thailand's warm-up. Fire of Friendship? Nah, I don't really recognize this one.
I don't recognize this at all. It says go to sleep though, so there he is. That actually was like perfect, like noise audio that I could use that for like a little like notification sound. So thank you for that. I'm probably gonna go back and clip that. But yeah, I haven't seen this map at all. Wait, oh what?
Oh wait?
What? Gamer?
Okay, it seems like they're starting to switch it up a little bit. Either that or I was just completely mistaken.
I'm so confused.
To be honest, the one thing that I'm mainly confused about is just the warm-ups in general. They actually tend to be like serious picks. They're serious warm-ups. Like you can actually tell that these teams are actually picking these maps to really like strengthen their skills. When on other teams that we've seen previously, they tend to go more of the pride of their country sort of warm-up. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does seem like this is the actual warm-up. Super cool. This map is actually the map that I've choked the most. Out of any map, this is it. I always either choke on the horizontal jumps or right after the last chorus starts. And I always get like 99 point something. Since like 2 or 3 years ago, dude, I still can't full combo this. It's such a stressful map to try and FC for me.
I mean, it is a difficult map, so...
Oh my gosh, tell me about it. I have at least like 20 chokes on this. And it's such a long map, too. Goodness gracious. Three players from the US running Hard Rock. I mean, I'm not really that surprised, but...
I mean, if you really think of it from, especially from the United States perspective, they are a very good team, alright, to say the least. And they really take tournaments like this very seriously. So I could imagine that they're trying to take advantage of the warm-up to really hone their skills to make sure they perform at their best. They really don't want to give any room to Thailand to really get any lead over them. So Hard Rock picks on the majority of the team. It kind of makes sense because they really want to make sure they don't underperform at all.
Yeah, that's true. If they're ready for this, they're ready for the other two Hard Rock picks in the pool. But Phantasma gonna be running a little funny mouth dance thing. But Yeah, I 100% agree with you, especially with their seriousness. I actually saw a little cute thing with them. They were doing synchronized farming. You've heard of synchronized swimming, but synchronized farming.
Oh.
They had Idke, Fiery Rage, and somebody, I think it was Munko, in a lobby, and they were just farming the new Sotarks, Cry Thunder. It was adorable! It was adorable! They were synchronized farming. It's my new favorite sport.
Hey, maybe we should try that out sometime.
I don't know, man. I don't think I can get PP off the stuff that you do. Or past the stuff you do, but that's another story for another day. Oh my goodness. It's a good song. I love you, Ikonu. Well, not to her specifically. That sounds a little weird. Her voice. Well, that sounds even weirder. Unless you're talking... like, her singing voice, not her, like, voice.
Alright.
Fiery Rage is a crazy FC right now. Let's just talk about that. This would probably be about 400 PP at this point. Already passing my top play.
I'm sorry. It's really hard to pitch in. I'm just
Listen,
living
man,
the moment right now.
Okay. Alright. We don't have to talk about this. We can just talk about something else, okay? All I just wanted to compliment the song, but I made it sound like... Alright, Fire Rage is a really cool full combo. Let's just see how he does here. Going into this last section of the map, actually this would be a really sick play if he ended up full combo in this. The jumps in this are super hard, especially they have a lot of jump sliders. Very solid. And he does it! Oh, there it is! That's the part I choke on every time, and he choked right after, and I just... Okay.
That's just unfortunate. Honestly, that would have been a very insane play to see. Even if it's only in a warm-up, like, it would be such an insane play because each one of these players need to recognize that there are hundreds, thousands of people watching them as they play through these warm-ups. So the pressure is really on them.
Yo, Praxia going gamer mode though. The only full combo left, the Lone Warrior. 99.27 accuracy too. And he does it! Apraxia wins Osu World Cup. That's the whole tournament, everyone. Goodbye. Thank you so much for watching. That was the tiebreaker. Not US, just Apraxia. Apraxia wins this year.
I think that really just goes to show just how
I lied to you. I just lied to your face. He didn't full combo. Never mind. No one wins Osu World Cup yet.
I trusted you, Chippy.
We still have to watch the match. We still have to...
I trusted you.
No, it's not over yet. All right. Now we're going into the match part of the match, whatever that means. We're going to be going to bans. Very exciting thing. I guess we could speculate on what the bans are going to be. I feel like US is definitely going to pick the most gimmicky thing, as they did kind of versus Netherlands when they did. Which I'm assuming... If I had to pick something for them to ban, it'd probably be Yume Mabaroshi or Hokiboshi. Actually, Hokiboshi's not terrible. Hokiboshi's just a bunch of, like...
It's mainly just, like, triples and yeah. Just, like, speed-oriented. It's a speed-oriented.
They banned Nomad 1. They banned Dreamcatcher.
Oh, that actually makes sense. Wait, it actually makes sense to me.
Okay, alright, so explain this to me then, because I have no idea.
Okay, so like, if you really think of it from the United States perspective, like, their team is stacked with players, alright? They know that they have the upper hand, right? So they want to make sure that they flush out every single consistency or just like general map in general, right? Like for maps like Nomad 1, it's just a standard map. It's just regular jumps, a couple stream jumps actually, but it's one of those more consistency picks, right? If they want to give themselves the upper hand, they really want to make sure they remove all of those consistency picks out of the pool, because that would give Thailand actually a chance, really. They want to make sure that they have as much of an advantage in this match as possible. So,
and yeah, just as we were saying that they were banning a consistency map, Thailand does the same thing and bans the consistency hard rock. Yes, Oriental map, and we're gonna be seeing Yellow Splash. Kind of weird. I mean, actually, from what you just said, I can see it. I can understand it. You went Rap God mode, and I completely and 100% understand why they would pick it, but it still feels weird to me, because it's like, you're picking a consistency map against the United States. It's like, they literally just 4-way FC'd this against the Netherlands, too. So it's like, it's not like they're strangers to this map. They 4-way FC'd with 99.9 accuracy.
In terms of bans in general, you have to keep in mind both point of views from a team's perspective when choosing bans. You can either do it one way, where you want to pick the bans that you know you want to ban maps that your team actually can't really perform that well on, or you want to ban maps that you know that the other team can do well on. They're really two perspectives. So that could be the reason why we see some of these weird bans coming out from either team, but I don't know. It's just those perspectives that you really need to keep in mind.
And that's exactly what I was going to mention, is the layer of level of banning maps. I guess the P-brain way to go about it would be to ban stuff that you don't like, or that you don't do well at. But what a lot of people don't realize is that most of the time the other person doesn't like it that much either. So there's no point in banning it. It's like people ban stuff that isn't even going to be picked. It's like you gotta take into account both what you don't like doing and what they like doing. If you don't do that kind of research, then you're just gonna end up banning stuff that they're not gonna pick anyways, and it's a waste of your ban, because you're just banning a point that didn't exist in the first place.
I will say on that note, every time I try to use that tactic, it always seems to bite me in the long run, because every time I don't ban a map that I'm uncomfortable with, my opponent just always seems to pick the AR8 hidden, and that's when I just lose a point.
I agree, and I'm gonna agree with them starting this match as well, or whatever segue that was. Going into the first map, I agree. Up arrow. Very standard map, as me and Beast were mentioning earlier. A very consistency-based map. As we mentioned in the last match, for those who were there, this is probably like the most consistency-based map we've seen in a while in World Cup. It's to the point where commentators guess how many SSs each team is going to get. By the way, Beast, how many SSs do you think is going to be at the end of this map? I'm guessing one.
I don't know. Well, so far, right now, on the United States team, we can see already 2 SSs going in.
Total,
yeah, 3 total, so, I don't know, man. It is a stream-oriented map, so if those players who are really consistent at the game can really pull off SSs pretty easily. But I don't know. It's really hard for me to tell. If I do see one, I think I would be thoroughly impressed. Just one.
Really? Okay. Well, we just missed 3 people missing from the side of Thailand, and that's very unfortunate for them. Phantasma going to be doing a fantastic job right now with this SS, though. But the rest of his team, unfortunately, not picking up as much as they could against the United States. And we're going to be seeing 4 FCs going into this last stream for the United States. No player is going to be missing in the slightest, ladies and gentlemen. The United States, a Goliath team, going to be going in this last chorus.
I think that SS on Phantasma actually came back to bite him, because his shakes, because of it, it just seemed to cause him to break both his combo and his accuracy. Not looking too well.
Oh, I just cursed him. My apologies. But it's going to be no SSs from either team, and we're going to be seeing 2 more 1x100s for Midkey and Digital Hypno. They've literally 1x100 of this map both times they played it. That's wonderful. Okay,
wow.
Awesome. Oh, this is so epic. But yeah, a 4-way coming from the US gamers.
So, with that map closing, we now have the second map.
You want to announce this one? What's the map called?
Breasts or kindly exit the premises, or something along the lines of that. All right, we're trying to keep this stream PG friendly, right?
PG friendly. A little fun fact about this map: I actually got a 300-hour silence 3 years ago for uploading this map with this song, because they thought it was just me typing a vulgar word as the map the map name, because no one knew what the song was at the time. So I was like, ah, dang it. I actually haven't seen this map picked before, so very interested to, I mean, I've seen the map, obviously. This is a really fun map set to play. Particularly the second to last difficulty is a lot of fun.
If I really were to go back to what I was saying before, just commenting on this map specifically, this free mod pick is actually very interesting because depending on the mod that you choose, you're really putting yourself to different skill sets or different challenging skill sets. Because if you were to say pick hidden for this map, what you will have to deal with is just huge, just a very large note density because the map itself is 220 BPM. That's pretty fast, especially for a map in the group stage. So players who pick hidden are just going to have to show themselves as comfortable with that note density. Oh wow, I was not expecting that.
Here we come, and we see 3 hiddens on the side of I mean, I'm counting hidden hard rocks as hiddens, so I guess maybe I shouldn't. 3 hard rocks, 2 of them which with hidden, 1 hidden from the side of Thailand, and we see 3 hard rocks, 1 of them a hidden hard rock from the side of USA with Iggy just running hidden. Little known fact about Iggy, actually a super good hidden player. A lot of people don't see it because, you know, a lot of his tops are hard rock, but he's super good at hidden and he's proven it. He proved it against Netherlands when he played the Pendulum map. He did a super good job on it, especially in terms of accuracy.
I think it's really going to be interesting to see how players perform with Hard Rock. With me saying that though, Phantasma and Vanilla both breaking, I mean the aim on this map is actually very difficult with the circles being this small, and the raw aim difficulty is just pretty hard to say the.
Yeah, I can definitely see why this would be a hard map on Hard Rock to play, but at the same time, it's like I feel like their breaks are almost uncharacteristic. Like, if you look at the sections where they broke, it just didn't seem like places where the normal player, especially them, would really break. Like,
I agree with that. That was pretty early on in the map as well.
But we are going to be seeing a break from the side of the USA, and Munko going to be seeing a miss. And only 1 full combo left on the side of Thailand. Red Cross X is going to be that. The USA leading by 300k right now, and it's not looking that good for Thailand. I would say this is easily comebackable, but the sheer fact of there's not that much combo on Thailand's side, 2/3 of the way through the map, suggests that it's not. Iggy holding an SS as well is pretty cool to see.
Oh, wow, I didn't even notice that.
That's what I'm saying, dude. He's actually...
Oh, no!
Alright, I'm gonna go, guys. Thanks for watching the... Alright, no, we're back. It's looking like... And it's looking like US is aiming to take this pick as well.
I don't know, it's just that 800-point difference. The 800,000 point difference between the 2 teams right now is just impossible to overcome. And
US
United
is a
States
wall,
will take
dude.
that pick.
It's really good. They are good, and I don't want to talk about specific players and how well they're doing because they will just break. I have learned this, and this is my rule. I'm not allowed to talk about people.
I think it's fair to talk about them towards the end, though, because we see
After the
Apraxia
match,
and Digital Hypno both coming in with full combo. Very good performances.
We're going to be seeing
stellar
Thailand
performances.
pick Crush. That was the USA's pick, for those who were curious. For those just tuning in. It was very clear by how well they did that was the USA's pick. A very difficult, I would argue, like, top 3 most difficult maps in the pool, that map. It's just off of the sheer fact that it's free mod. If it wasn't free mod, then eh. But, like, the fact that it's free mod just kind of puts you in a tricky position of what the heck are you going to run. But yeah, we got crushed.
Oh, my bad.
No. Talk.
Oh, well, I just said that. I was just trying to say, it really just goes back into the United States mindset going into this tournament, because this is the group stage. You've mentioned this before in the last match, that for top players, top 100 players, these maps are actually not really that hard for them, right? So, especially for the United States, their team is stacked with insane players. So, they're just trying to pick as many hard maps as they can, right? Because they know they're going to have that upper hand because of their roster.
That's true. We saw the USA actually play on this map versus Netherlands. They did a pretty good job. Like I was mentioning about Icky being good at hidden, well, before he broke. He's actually really good at hidden. and until he broke, that showed. He's very good at hitting. And he played on this map when it was US versus Netherlands, did a very stellar job at just holding accuracy and just keeping control. Having good aim control on low approach rate maps is essential. If you don't have good control of your aim and the ability to like focus on the BPM more than your focus, for those who don't know, BPM means beats per minute. The BPM or over the approach rate, then you're gonna crumble if you don't have that ability. But these players, especially on the side of US, have that ability.
I'm actually really excited to see Thailand's performance on this map because this is their pick. It's a very difficult map to read because of its approach rate, but saying that their team actually picked this map, it must show that they're really confident on it.
That's kind of been the rule so far. I mean, we saw that with Australia. It's like whoever picks it does a really good job at it. So I'm hoping that's the case because it will create such a close match, especially since we already see Munko breaking, so the early lead's going over to Thailand. But, I mean, we'll see, man. The USA did a great job on this versus Netherlands. So it's like, it almost confuses me why they're picking stuff that the USA have already played in tournament. Because, alright, so tournament nerves are a thing, right? We can all agree with that. But it's like, your nerves are insanely less if it's a map that you've already played in tournament. You'll still have nerves if it's a map you've practiced a lot, because it's like, well, I've been practicing for this moment. Let's see how well I do. But once you've played it in tournament versus somebody, it's like, oh, like, I know what I'm capable of when I'm nervous. Let's do this. But yeah, break coming from Non-Z, Non-XE, whatever you want to pronounce that as. The world's your oyster. But the lead is going to be for the US right now. And just as I say that, Apraxia going to be getting an uncharacteristic break before the second course, and that's going to make things look pretty good for Thailand here. Thailand, not Thailand.
It seems like it's starting to rub off onto you.
Apparently so. And speaking of rub off, Apraxia's misses are just rubbing off of the lead that the US has right now. Munko going to be finding another miss as well. And we're going to be seeing a 20k difference right at this break as well, so players are going to be seeing what's happening right now, what the situation is. They know that Thailand takes it if no more breaks happen or act breaks. That's just their match. Mikuri going to be having an SS along with Hypno. The only two SSs left. Ikki, the 1x100 warrior, going to be still in it with a full combo as well. It all really comes down to how well Thailand holds here. Going to be getting a 40k lead and climbing. We'll see right before this chorus. I feel like somebody might break before the chorus. We'll see. No breaks before the chorus. Very good nerve control. Phantasma's aim looks very haphazard. I'm very nervous for his sake, but he's doing a good job at holding combo. And Munko going to be seeing another break. That's going to be it. That's going to be Thailand taking a point off of the United States. And yeah, solid work. Very exciting for them, I'm sure. Taking a point off of US is a very, honestly, a huge accomplishment. It sounds kind of biasy, but the USA is a crazy good team. So the fact that they took a point off of them, especially with such a lead that they did, is super good. Yeah, Hypno going to be getting an SS. Mikuri going to be getting an SS as well. Crazy work from both players. Solid accuracy. Ikki getting a 1x100 on a hidden pick. Who would have thunk? I feel like he gets 1x100s more than he breaks at this point. It's just crazy. But yeah, it's going to be a point for Thailand, where you have a game, ladies and gentlemen. 2-1 in favor of the United States right now. Though it is going into US's pick, and they're going to be picking the other hidden map, Sola. We've actually seen this happen in Australia, and we talked about it. It was in this exact order, too. They did Pendulum, and then they did this. And we talked about the difference in approach rates and how it can affect some players.
Right. But Sola being, like, I would assume it to be more of a standard map. I honestly don't really see it as that complex, I guess. I mean, yeah, it does have a couple jumps here and there. Some of the patterns are just a little bit awkward to aim, but I just see it overall as just a more of a consistent pick. As for the approach rate, me personally, when I played through it myself, I didn't really see that much of a difference. Even with the approach rate difference, I just don't really see it as that that's substantial of a change in order to really cause any real issues.
Right, and that's like the difference between a tourney player and a regular player. A regular player would like look at this and like get tripped up by the approach rate. The tournament player recognizes the situation, recognizes, hey, I need to focus on the beeps per minute. Like, I know I just mentioned it in Pendulum, but so it's going to sound really repetitive, but I do promise that it actually swings into this. You got to focus on the BPM because that's the constant thing. You could have a 500 BPM song, AR8, AR9, AR10, AR whatever. It's still 500 BPM. If you focus on that, your accuracy is going to be a lot easier to accomplish if you can actually, like, put the metronome in your head to be able to control your aim.
Pretty standard intro. Everyone seems to be doing all right. Oh, as soon as I say that, Defi Force.
Welcome to my life. We are ruining plays. But yeah, it's an early break, so it's not a big deal. Fire Rage is going to be seeing a break as well, so it's like, it all balances out. Early breaks aren't a huge deal. All they really do is, early breaks are the equivalent of messing up your accuracy a bunch in the later on parts of the map. When you really think about it, it's like 20 to 30k by the end of the map is affected. So it's not that bad. But applause missing is going to be pretty bad considering we're a third of the way through this map. And
I think that, oh, my bad. The position of that map really matters, especially for the break, because that's when you really start to see the score difference really start to climb. Since it is a combo scoring, the combo scoring for the most part, having that advantage with combo in comparison with the opposing team can really get you that score difference, the team score difference that can get you that lead that you really need.
Ooh, that's not good. Deppy and Applause breaking it again, and that's not going to be an early break for Deppy this time, so it's going to be pretty big. Applause breaking, unable to hold combo. Phantasma going to be finding a miss as well. And Mikuri is going to be the only FC left on the side of Thailand, but USA having 3 FCs and 1 near full combo with the early break from Fire Rage. That's going to be huge, and it's a guaranteed point to the US if nobody fails. You look at the score difference, 2.8 mil to 1.8 mil, already a mil difference, and we're not at the end of the map. Phantasma just choking his butt off right there, unable to regain composure. I understand how that feels. I just felt that the TwitchCon. It's a very unfortunate feeling. But yeah, that's a very convincing point coming to the US, saying, all right, Thailand, we see you. We see that you got a point on one hidden pick. Here's the other one, and here's why we're going to take it right now. Very solid work from all of them. 3 FCs coming out. Hypno getting an SS. Oh my. It slipped my mind. How did he do that? He SS 2 maps in a row. 2 hiddens.
4-digit, by the way.
4-digit, by the way.
Stellar performance coming from the United States side. Thailand, I'm sure that's just a crushing feeling, especially in terms of mentality. Seeing that score difference and just seeing the overall difference in performance from your team to the United States, it's really hard to stay positive when you see results like that. So
yeah, and you can see in the chat saying nice throw by me from Phantasma. It's like, it's so hard to control nerves. And he dealt with the thing that I dealt with at TwitchCon, which is you get so much nerves that you have to take a break. It is an awful feeling, especially when you're like in front of such an audience as World Cup. It's like, it's terrifying. It really is. Because on one hand, you're like, I want to regain composure, but on the other hand, it's like, if I don't, I just look stupid. It's a huge... If you get in that kind of like bad mindset, it's so hard to come back from. But we're going to be seeing Yume Maboroshi. I don't think I've seen this map actually picked in my commentary blocks, so I'm interested to see a lot of very unique picks here.
Definitely. Yume Maboroshi, the second free mod pick, actually, next to breasts or kindly leave the premises. Normally,
yes,
we haven't really seen... we haven't really seen this map picked too often, but it does seem to be one of the more consistent free mods of the map pool. Or it is the second, the only other free mod. So, but in terms of just the map pool in general, it's one of those more consistency based maps. Honestly, I could see a lot of players opting for hidden on this one because most of its difficulty tends to come from just aim oriented patterns. But I don't know. Anything could really happen. I honestly have seen so many differing things happen. My predictions have been all over the place and just like inaccurate in general. So we could really see anything coming out from this. I'm very interested to see what each player would really pick for this free mod.
I definitely think it's really hard to say. I don't even want to guess it, because the thing with free mods is it doesn't even come down to what type of player you are, more so as it is what your like major strength is. Like if your major strength is aim, chances are you're running hard rock and free mod, because a lot of free mods that there's free mods that are a low approach rate that opt people to run hard rock, and there's free mods that are high circle size that opt people to run hidden. And it really depends on how good you are at either of those mods, whether you're gonna run one or the other. Because if you're not good at hidden and it's a low circle size map, well, I really hope you can run CS 6.5. Because otherwise, you have to run hidden. Because it's a really tough position some free mods will put you into sometimes.
I agree. It's really just a decision that you have to make, especially when you see maps like that. Like you mentioned, if this was a free mod where the base circle size was 5, opting for hard rock, you would have to deal with insanely tiny circles. But if you're uncomfortable with if you were uncomfortable with hidden, you would have no other choice other than to pick for hard rock and really deal with it. It's just one of those scenarios where the player has to choose. The player has to just pick their poison.
Yeah, and it's a really unfortunate situation to be put into. I'm sure it's probably the reason why going into the map is taking a little longer than usual, is picking the right mods is super difficult. Luckily, for those players who don't know which mod they want to run, as long as 2 people on their team in OC World Cup are able to run a mod, it doesn't matter.
That's right.
Yep.
Each team actually only has to pick 2 mods in total, right?
Mm-hmm. 2 mods in total. Well, that doesn't count. Like, one person can't run hidden hard rock. It has to be 2 people with mods.
Oh,
that's the rule.
Okay, I see.
But we are going to be seeing all but non-Z with mods. 2 hard rocks, 2 hiddens on the side of US, 1 hidden, 2 hidden, 1 hard rock on the side of Thailand. On a map like this, I can definitely see why hidden is more preferred over hard rock. But at the same time, it's like, when a map pool is a tad easier for players, like it is for the US, I'm assuming, considering they're all like almost top 100 players. Well, literally everybody but Hypno is like top 100. So it's like, actually, Praxi might be a little off. I'm not quite sure. I forget if he's top 100 still, but he's been top 100. The point is, if you're a top player, if it's a little easier for you, you can rock on hard rock to, I didn't actually mean to make a pun there, but you can put on hard rock to actually make the map like harder, so it's kind of less straining for you to keep your focus, if that makes sense.
Right.
Plus, you get a cool little nifty bonus. With hidden, it's not as nearly as much as hard rock, if I remember correctly.
So far, all players are performing very well, especially for the beginning of the map. All players still holding onto their full combos, and I hope I don't jinx that with anyone. Alright, it seems like I'm safe. So, all players doing extremely...
Yeah.
What I'm actually pretty surprised about... I'm sorry if I'm interrupting.
No.
Aki opting to choose hidden over hard rock. I'm sure many of us know Aki to be as a very hard rock oriented player, especially because of his top plays, like you mentioned before. Seeing hidden on Aki, it seems to be pretty interesting, but I can actually understand why, because it's one of those risk mitigations that you have to analyze in a tournament setting. Because yeah, I could go with hard. You could put yourself into that mindset and just say, hey, I could go with hard rock. But the risk, the chance of you missing might outweigh that comfortability. I don't know the word for it.
Comfortability.
Yeah, that. I just can't speak today.
It's okay.
And it does seem to be paying off. Aki still holding his full combo along with literally everyone.
Yeah, I was gonna say the chances of breaking is literally 0 from what it seems right now, because like literally nobody's breaking. But I do think hidden is, like you were saying, probably the safer pick for this map, because it's a very linear-based map, so as long as you can read it, it's fine. The only reason somebody would break with hidden is from like a misread on a map like this. With hard rock, you can just be misaiming, which is a lot more common than misreading for a lot of these players. But right now, it's just standard like accuracy battle, heavily favoring the US, especially because they have 2 hard rocks. It's like, all it really takes is USA to like full combo, and that's it. Like it's basically as if Thailand broke, which they just did twice. Okay.
Yikes.
Okay, well, if they all had full combos, it would have been basically as if Thailand broke because USA had 2 hard rocks. But 3 players from Thailand breaking, Depi Force the only one left with a full combo. It's not looking good. It's actually looking like it's over for this map for Thailand, unfortunately.
With less than a quarter left in the map, it's really hard to say that Thailand has a chance left.
Yeah, there's literally no way. It's 300k left in the map. It's like, when you have Depi as the only FC, especially with that hard accuracy break right there that he just did on the streams, it's actually impossible to come back if a player from the US, unless a player from the US fails. Very unfortunate for them, but I mean, it's not over. I know that seems like a very stereotypical thing to say, but hopefully they don't let it get to them. Like, the USA is a super good team, and I feel like almost... By the way, 4-way FC on this is actually insane. I would like to note. Although I'm going to keep talking, 4-way FC on this is super nuts, and all the players in the US did an amazing job. Specifically, Munko did really good. But
look at that accuracy.
I almost, yeah, it's like I said, Munko specifically didn't... Getting the best accuracy with Hard Rock is actually gamer mode. Like, that's all you really have to say. It's going to be DT2 from the USA's pick. But it's like, almost as if, like, I feel like you shouldn't be nervous or get yourself down about these situations where it's like you get stomped so hard in a pick, because it's like, sure, you got stomped super hard, but on the other side of the coin, it's like, there's nothing that you specifically could have done by yourself to, like, make the comeback potential actually happen. Because it's like, sure, if you full comboed, you would have got a mil, but, like, USA won by, like, over 1 million. So it's like, you can't really do much. So there's no point in getting yourself down over it if it's like, that's it.
It really comes back down to being able to just hold a positive mindset while you're going through this, because Thailand are facing against one of the best, arguably one of the best teams in OWC. So it's just their ability to really hold on to a positive mindset and just try their best. Because even though they lost, they might be down and was like, oh yeah, if I just full combo, like you said, maybe our team would have been able to do better. But it really starts to get to a point where it just gets out of your control, where you can't be that one-man carry, where it's really just the circumstances just wasn't there, and it just ends in a loss. You just really have to, like, find the way to hold a positive mindset and really just keep going to really perform at your best, because your mentality can really tear you down if you have a negative mindset going into a match. So yeah, mentality is so huge when it comes to tournaments. Mentality and consistency are like the 2 kickers. It's like, I was actually talking, I think you were there if I remember correctly, when Hypno talked about mindset in general in tournaments when we went to get pho. Yeah, at TwitchCon.
I mean, he told it the best. It's like, mentality is so huge, and it's like, understanding, like, when you have the lead for sure is super important. But we're going to be going into Hane no Nakisho. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. I pronounced it last time, and it seemed like none of chat attacked me, so should be good. Very consistency-based DT pick. Herax thing's not going to be shown, so it's probably going to client reset in a sec, but we'll commentate it as much as we can. I mean, there's not really much to say in the early section of the map, because breaks don't mean that much, and most people are going to be full comboing anyways. So unless it's team fails, there's not really much you can really say about the start of a map. And yeah, we're back in it. Apraxia found an early miss, but like I said, early breaks don't mean super much. As long as your team has accuracy lead, you'll still be holding the lead. It's almost good to get that early miss out of the way, because it's like, I know it's like, sure, you still have a huge combo later on in the map, but if you've already missed, you get the initial nerves of, I don't want to miss over. If that makes sense. Though I'm sure none of the USA players really experience that, at least to a high degree. It's kind of important for other levels of tournament play. But Depi Force and Mikuri going into this first core is going to be finding a miss, and that's going to be super bad for them.
Especially at this break, when these teams can actually see each other's scores, they start to realize, yeah, they're at a huge disadvantage with these two breaks. They know that the USA team is going to start really gaining the point lead. This is where the USA is really just going to just run away with this map, unless they do something about it, unless they can really hold on to their full combos and really just hope that the United States really makes a mistake.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Especially when it's match point like it is now for the US, that can seal any cracks that the US have in their mentality, and it can create so much more cracks in Thailand's mentality. We fortunately haven't seen any breaks from Thailand's side since those two happened, but I don't know what to say anymore, dude. Fantastic.
Unfortunate.
It just doesn't end at this point. But yeah, going into this last break, it's definitely over for Thailand unless USA fails or something, but they're not going to do that. Let's be honest with ourselves here.
Phantasma expressing it in his smoke, drawing out the word scream.
But yeah, solid job from the USA. On a map like this, it's actually really impressive to hold accuracy when you have so much different bursts and different kinds of patterns. And yeah, with the last spinner, that's going to be it. USA is going to be beating Thailand for 5-1. Sorry, I misspoke. 5-1 is the USA going to be beating Thailand. No misses from, I'm wrong. Apraxia, I forgot about his miss. See, that's what I mean by early breaks don't mean that much. I forgot Apraxia even missed. I just saw the 900, and I was like, oh, he's good. One miss from the side of US, but all FCs on the other side. Amazing accuracy from them. Unfortunately